Yes, quite the talker, Amanda. Dr. James Naismith was a physical education teacher who was born in Almonte, Canada in 1861. So you would think that would make him officially Canadian. Well, one researcher from the University of Stirling in Scotland says basketball's inventor is actually Scottish. The 2-year-long research aimed to reclaim Naismith for Scotland and to initiate a review of basketball's history, one that's been accepted for decades as an American and Canadian sport. Dr. Ross Walker, a lecturer of sports management at the University of Stirling, tells us Naismith was born in Canada and was the son of a Scot. But he says the territory Naismith was born in was actually a British colony, and Canadian citizenship was not legalized until 1947, which is 8 years after the inventor's passing. Walker's research revealing Naismith's inspiration for the game of basketball, a game called Duck on the Rock, a game his father learned on the streets of Glasgow. Western Mass News spoke exclusively with Dr. Walker earlier today about this work, which included a review of documents, historical records, and even 19th century newspaper articles. He says his objective is not meant to subtract from the history we already know, but to add on to it.
That's what makes basketball such a great sight, in that we all have our different diversities of opinion. Scotland has long been excluded from this narrative, and it's not about replacing these countries with Scotland. It's about putting Scotland alongside. There's not just two countries of America and Canada, there's three countries. It's America, Canada, and Scotland. All of these countries deserve equal representation for their role in the process of developing basketball today. And it just so happens that Scotland was at the beginning of that journey.
Now, Dr. Walker is actually no stranger to basketball himself. He represented his country playing the sport for 15 years. After doing all of this work, he shares his hope of bringing attention to these findings, especially in his home country.
What would be really great in terms of global basketball is if, organizations such as FIBA or the NBA could get behind this and put some kind of funding together to delve more deeply into the history of James Naismith and the sport. So it would be really great to just create some awareness for the game in Scotland and the UK more broadly, just to grow it, because James Naismith wanted this to be a tool that helped young people, and that's where it should be, and that's how it should be more widely held.
In response, the president and CEO of the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, John D'Oliva, tells us in a statement, Dr. James Naismith was Canadian-born, but proud of his Scottish heritage. Dr. Walker did not reach out to the Naismith family as he wanted to avoid any informed bias when it comes to this research. In the end, he hopes everyone goes into this conversation with an open mind. And I'll say this, being a basketball fan myself, this particular topic is a slam dunk. Reporting live from the Basketball Hall of Fame in downtown Springfield, Matt Price, Western Mass News.